Artificial intelligence can help you out in gaslighting situations. It's not something I want to say, and it's not something you should do professionally. But we're not talking about professional, we're not talking about clean cut, we're talking about dealing with narcissistic abuse and people who just want to control and manipulate. This is not a clean knife, this is a poop knife. This is a very yucky knife, and in order to figure this stuff out, we have to play differently, okay? Because the people watching everything, the people watching don't understand that the people doing the gaslighting are liars, that they're people who are not telling the truth. Like some of them like flat out lie. Like let's face it, men are liars, women are liars. Women will manipulate, men will manipulate in different ways. Let's face it, men are usually it's usually 65% more men, and the rest is women. But if you don't want to admit that's real, then I really think that you're disconnected from reality. In the same way, even I, as a villager, am disconnected from farming. I haven't been within 6 feet of a pig, a chicken, or a rooster within about 5 years, and I don't think any of you have either. Now, these things are definitely very fundamental to our lives, and we're getting disproportionately disconnected from our past selves as hunter-gatherers, people who are directly connected to the earth, and because of that, we're connecting too much into things like social media and things that exist on top of this complex system that is society. Multiple little things built together to create something bigger than what it was. Me Too movement has been brought out by this system, by this complex system, and within this complex systems are ways to manipulate people's minds like never before, and I am frankly disgusted with it. Now, the people who are controlling, manipulative in religions, in cults, in all of these things have left these areas because they found that they could do the same things being within financial institutions, which are now run by narcissists, psychopaths. But you want those people because they are the most aggressive people. And those are the people that everybody likes. So in order to get ahead, you gotta lie more, you gotta be aggressive more, you gotta be good at all of this stuff. Now in lying, you have to change. Oh, if we nailed lawyers for being gaslighters, if the gaslighting thing was in the legal system, I think every lawyer would be accused of gaslighting legitimately. But here's the thing. It absolutely freaking happens. It needs to stop because we need to think about freaking children. So, of course, you don't want to use computers. You don't want to use AI to diagnose this, that, or the other thing. But seeing a doctor is prohibitively expensive. And if you are above working class, if you're white collar above working class, yeah, you don't know. You just don't know. You don't know what it's like to simply not have medical health care. You don't know what it's like to not have. You don't know what it's like to not be able to afford a therapist in the worst possible time when the worst possible thing could be happening that I can't even tell you about. We can all, off the top of our head, think about situations that we can't talk about because it will upset people. But these things are legitimately happening. By letting them happen, we are facilitating them, and I will not have that. So how does artificial intelligence help? Okay, you don't got any money for health, you don't got any money for therapists or anything like that. This is what you do. You get the artificial intelligence because that's all you have. Guys, do you understand? Like, to the people that are like, no, don't do that. Guys, do you understand? Those are the only options that we're leaving these people in desperate situations. And though we don't want to talk about these desperate situations that people get themselves put into because it will hurt our feelings, those individuals need to go off into these hells and fight. And they need tools. Tools more than, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You want them in bed crying all day? No. Okay, here's how you use artificial intelligence to beat gaslighters. You ask artificial intelligence if the situation going on is unreasonable, and they'll give you a pretty good idea. The artificial intelligence will give you a pretty good idea. Now, why is this better to ask the artificial intelligence than it is to ask people in your life? Sorry about that. Anyways, We need privacy. Within communities, information can get spread and demons can rise up in people's minds based off of what they heard versus what was actually said versus what is actually interpreted. Things can go south so damn quick, and we are absolutely in a situation where there are hard realities that we can't bring out because people are just too damn sensitive and emotional. We're not allowed to say they're sensitive and emotional because these days, to say that automatically makes you an abusive narcissist. But in and of itself, I strongly feel like that makes an opiate for the masses so that something narcissistic and selfish can come and smash into it, take over everything. Tell me that's not happening. Tell me I don't have situations where I have to buy DVDs because if I buy the movie digitally, they have the right to take it from me whenever, and I don't have the right to anything. That's absolutely what's going on here. But back to the AI. The AI might be connected to Google, but it works for you. Yeah, okay, so your information is kind of valuable to Google, but Google is sorry, personally I don't have issues with Google. I don't have problems with people finding out my information because I have nothing to hide. Do I look like I'm hiding something other than the fact I'm straight? I guess that would depend on the purview of your conundrum. Anyways, I like to play with the balls out. I'm a little bit like Moon Knight in the way that I like my enemies to see me coming. I like my issues to see me coming because legitimately, I shouldn't have the issues that I have. And a lot of people shouldn't have the issues that they have, especially women. Okay, so there are a lot of weak minded people. There are people that are more easy to hypnotize than others. And if you see them early on, these are also people that are more likely to get nailed with something on social media because of how susceptible they are and also how sensitive they are sometimes. So, you know how whenever you go up to a hypnotist, they do this usually classically in the 90s, and it was this arm thing where they would grab your arm and they try to pull it apart. And if you did something or if you didn't do something, you had to go back. And then they brought you into a deep sleep, and if it didn't work, you had to go back. There's some people it didn't work on. There's some people it works on like freaking that. There are people, like let's face it, there are people within society, probably mostly men, who have managed to change people's reality, gaslight them, manipulate them into thinking certain things in order to keep them where they are. I could easily see now that if you just put so much onto an individual, like so much mental issues that they can't go anywhere because just carrying on is so difficult. But if you ask artificial intelligence, is this situation unreasonable? They can tell you, they can give you a freaking answer for that. And they might even be able to tell you why they would do something like this objectively, not emotionally. Now, objective and subjective are things we need to think about. Is A A? Does love exist like that? If A is always A, is love always exactly the same as it always is? Did Nikolai Tesla not actually love that pigeon that he died loving? Do you not love your cat? Sure as fuck don't like my cat when he pisses on the bed. Now, if you want an honest answer from artificial intelligence, you give it all of the information. All of the information. Particularly in small towns, the reason why you do that is because you get people who are, the flying monkeys, or the people who are old boys, just friends with them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's just Jeb. It's okay. We'll just let him go with it. Just if he wants to take you, if he wants to clap them cheeks of yours, you just go ahead and let him." Like more or less, this stuff it doesn't happen often, but it definitely happens. Yeah, I think it's everyone kind of knows that when you're in the back country, the old boy system applies really well. We know that. AI can help you break through that and get honest opinion. Women will tell you that sometimes they don't get clear answers until they're in front of a therapist, away from everyone, in a room, away from everyone. And sometimes people don't even figure out how hard they were abused, men and women. I've seen situations in shelters where a woman abused a man so much that the woman got kicked out, and the man, oh man, he was a friend of mine, and he's doing everything he can. This is like the best father of the world. I'm not sure if he's the brightest because he keeps freaking having kids and having kids, but he's like the best freaking father I can freaking imagine. And and it took it took the shelter to show him what was going on and the situation that was being facilitated. And I don't want to go any further into it. There's certain truths that I need to get out there because people need to see the hell that is out there. But at the same time, I need to have some privacy for my bros. These things absolutely happen. There's things that we don't want to talk about, nuances that we don't want to bring up because it upsets us. There's like UFOs. Oh no, my God, Christian Judeo Yahweh doesn't exist, clutches pearls. Legitimately. That's the reason why we didn't bring out the UFOs. Recently, we were all talking about the UFOs and the Tic Tac and the this, and everybody's got some. There's so many pilots that got crazy stories of things they legitimately seen. And what's funny about all of it is it might not even be like once you take the math about where things are and where they go, it's very possible that these things we see are they come from here basically. It's called like ultra space. We live in three dimensions. We can interpret the fourth because we move across it, but we don't interpret the fifth because it is alternate realities where we've made slightly different decisions. I'm sorry, that was a timer. I gotta get these kids some food. But ultimately, reality is easily distorted. And you can use AI to see if something was bad, if it was over the line, if it crossed the line. You can't trust Reddit with this stuff, though. Keep that in mind. You can't trust Reddit with this stuff because for some reason the hive mind on Reddit just wants to destroy all families, all relationships. And so if you want support to destroy your relationship, go to Reddit. If you're a woman, if you're a guy and you need help, yeah, go to AI because these days we're legitimately in a situation where men can't argue with women. Even before the Me Too movement came out, Jordan Peterson said women need to check women, sisters need to check their sisters, cousins need to check their female cousins, female, because men can't. Men can't check them. But now, post Me Too movement, we are legitimately making up for colonization, Christianity, and racism. Wholehearted. Period. We're making up for that. In this is facilitating some very bad ideas from some people that think they can get away with things that they shouldn't be able to get away with. Oh, hey, I got a house spider over there. Oh, you're a cutie. Sorry. Anyways, it's a jumping spider. I'm going to make it my pet. But, anyways, artificial intelligence is wonderful to use because it can tell you if a situation is remarkably out there for you as a man, particularly. Good luck. Good luck. Anyways, that's it for me, folks. Keep your reality. You don't have to scream about it, but keep your reality and keep your cool. Have a good one, folks. Take care of each other.